Right. All right. Good morning, everyone. Again, God bless you for joining. I'm so excited to see those of you that are here. I hope that you will gain as much knowledge this morning. I know it's a weird time, right, for many people, right, to attend anything. I know that. So please bear with me. I I have usually done my coaching either early in the morning or late in the evening. So just so that people can get back to their day or be fruitful again. And so that's why we're doing this. So again, I'll just quickly do. I know everybody here literally knows me, but just a quick introduction. My name is Eritosin-Gregory. I am a consultant, coach, and social advocate. I also have authored some books. I have some books and materials also coming out in the new year. And I prayed this morning that my words will be fitly spoken, like apples of gold in silver settings, and they will be a blessing to you and to every other person that watches the replay. All right. So since 2020, I have started this group called Start Strong, Finish Strong, as a coaching platform where I have taught things around business growth, personal growth, and spiritual growth, mainly business growth and personal growth. And we've had a lot of feedback and results. And so every year I have maintained the group just to answer questions and share little tidbits here and there about business, about career and the like, and personal development. And we have seen the group really grow. We've seen people share feedback that has been amazing. And I thank God that this platform has existed to really help people. If you haven't been on this platform until now, you can just go click on the profile, I believe, and you have access to see all the materials that have been shared in the last 4 years, the recordings we have done, because we've held conferences twice every year, averagely. And each time we have recorded and have uploaded it here and so on. So you can access that here. So many materials, so many things. Just has been a really resourceful platform. And you can also check out my YouTube channel, Eritosin-Gregory, or you can just put the handle in at Ihotu. And you will see all the conferences that we have had, either called Finish Strong or Start Strong. They're all on that platform. We just had one 2 weeks ago with Steve Harris, which was really explosive. I kept getting feedback. In fact, between that day and the next day, I think I had like 60 different people chat me up about that conference. And I'm so grateful to God that we had a wonderful time. We've had over 100 people on YouTube. We had like 80 plus people on Zoom as we had the conference. So it was grateful. I'm just here to say thank you to God and to everyone that has joined, and to share three things that He has placed on my heart to do at this closeout coaching session before we enter 2025. And as we enter 2025, I did not coach this year in my personal coaching group called Be Better. I didn't coach this year because we were doing so many other things. But next year, I will be coaching Be Better. It's going to be for women only, and it's going to be a coaching group. So I have two coaching programs. I have group coaching, and I have the personal coaching. If you want personal coaching, you have to send me a DM personally so that I can make that happen for you. If you want the group coaching, then I will post the link in the Finish Strong group after this session, and you can join that. Please note, however, that group is a paid platform. It's going to be paid for. You're going to have to be paid to be part of that platform. I will share the amount at the end of this session. It will be paid for. Nothing that you can't afford, but it's paid for because it's going to take a lot of my time, my personal resources, my space. However, if you still want to be around my coaching and on my platforms, you can remain in this group, this Telegram group, which is going to be the open, broad one where everybody can, have access to me and all that on this platform. So please, again, if you're joining Be Better, it's going to also be on Telegram so that we can always go live, record our videos, post them. You can always come back, you can access materials. Telegram is the only platform that gives us access to do that. So it will be on Telegram. So join, and I'm telling you, it will be an amazing experience, right? Because there are three types of people that are attracted to me and my programs. There are three types of people that are my audience. Audience that I have been mandated for, given a mantle for I have business people who want to start or grow their businesses. So aspiring and emerging business owners, right, I always pull to me and attracted to me. People that want to grow in their personal lives. So people that are aspiring to have a personal brand, personal image, grow as public, public images and things like that. People that want to build personal brands or have personal brands that want to grow it. A second category of people. And the third category of people are people that want to start ministries or grow with their ministries, especially ministry that has to do with either women or children, right? They want to start or they want to grow what they have. Those are the three categories of people that are blessed by me. So I'm sure everybody here is within that category. If you are not, I'm sure you will still get some things, but I have been graced to work with these three categories of people, and that's what I've built all my programs and everything by. And that's why I'm a consultant, business consultant. That's why I'm a coach, right? And that's why I'm also a social advocate. All right. So let's quickly get into it. I'm going to be starting now. And like I said, there are three things I'll be talking about this morning. The first one is vision. And I'm not going to take a lot of time. I want to talk for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and then we can use the rest of the time to ask questions. If you have questions, please send them. Just write them down so that I ask them. I can also check the group later if you want to post them in the group, so that we'll be quick about this. So you can ask me any question you like, whether it's about what I teach or anything you want about your business or anything. Please just ask. This is a free coaching session where I'm sharing the wisdom of God like I have it. So please just ask whatever question you want. It's coaching. That's what happens in coaching. It doesn't have to do with what I am going to share. All right. So again, thank you all for joining. I see you. Thank you, Stella. God bless you. Thank you, Ololade. God bless you. Thank you, Omolara. Thank you, Olaide. Thank you, Auntie Yemi. Thank you, Yinka. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Yemi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining. All right, so let's start with vision. So we'll talk about vision. Number one, we'll talk about multipotentiality, which is what I think my next year will be about, trying to get people to embrace right, their multipotentiality and to do more. And then the third thing will be about your business visibility, health, and growth. And I'm going to do very short messages on it. Again, after the session, I'm going to post my write-ups again, like mini write-ups in the group, so you can also have access to it. Okay. So what's vision? Vision is a very clear picture of the future you want to have. That's it. Vision. That's why it's vision. That's why it's sight. It's something we can see. It's a very clear picture of the future you want to have. And I hope that you're taking notes, because as I speak, the wisdom of God will be translating to you what is relevant to you, what is needful for you, so that you can be able to take it down and write it down for yourself. So again, I say vision is a clear and it's a mental image. It's a mental image that you carry in your mind of the desired future or the outcome, either you want to have of your life or of your business or everything affected to you. And it's important as human beings that we have a vision and we carry a vision, because our Creator started the earth like we know it. That's not the beginning, but like we know it from Genesis with a vision. He knew what he wanted, so he was able to deliver it to the earth. He was able to speak out the things that he carried already in his spirit. So you need to know that you have to be able to capture pictures of what you desire in your mind, so that when you speak it, when you begin to live it, it is what you have carried in your spirit, translated into your mind, in your soul, that becomes your reality. So you cannot have a vision, you cannot have a life that you haven't envisioned. You can't, right? If your life is not as big and glamorous as you want, it's because of the kind of pictures you carry in your heart. It's the kind of hope you have. So the first thing you need to work on as an individual is the vision you carry for your life, for your business, for everything. What is your vision? Write it down. What is my vision? And the vision you carry stems out of the dreams that God has placed in your heart. So you have a lot of dreams, desires that you want and all of that. And that is placed in you divinely. You were created with those placed in you. Now, your responsibility, because if you know anything about God, He has His part and you play your part. It's a partnership. Right? Your responsibility is to sharpen those dreams so that they become visions Dreams remain dreams. They are happy-go-lucky, fancy imaginations that we carry in our spirit. Oh, I want to be the most celebrated speaker in the world. Oh, I want to be the best this and that. I want to own the biggest school. Oh, just imagine the school and all that. But vision is when you put paper to pen. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain that those that see it will run with it. Right? Vision becomes a long-term perspective that you now craft in a statement. Right? It becomes the thing that guides the decisions and the actions you make towards that dream you have. Because the dream you have is fancy, is nice, but it only becomes actionable when it becomes a vision. Because the vision says, this is where I am going. This is what I see. And therefore, these are the steps I will create so that I can have and carry those things. All right? So, visions are meant to inspire you. They are meant to motivate you, and they are meant to give you clarity and direction. That is the purpose of a vision. If you do not have right now what inspires you, what motivates you, what gives you clarity and direction, that means that maybe you do not yet have a clear vision. You are still in the realm of dreams, right? And it's okay. Just that now you know that you should have a vision for what you want for 2025. You have a vision for what you want for 5 years from now. You should have a vision ultimately for who you want to be at the end of your life, right? Have it, craft it, and I'll leave that with you and move on. So what are the sources of visions? Visions come from different experiences, because the things that we experience in life and who we are determines what we want, right? What we then desire. It's not born out of a vacuum. No, there is always a dream, something behind the vision, right? And I'm going to give you 5 things, and you can begin to identify those things where your vision is coming from. 5 things. Number 1, personal values and passion. What am I passionate about? What do I value? A lot of people have built their career and their businesses out of things that they were passionate about and things that they value. For instance, you value structure, you value organization, you value discipline, all those kind of things. Hey, you're headed towards being HR, right? Headed towards, something like that. Maybe even having a school. Right, your passion is to create. I know my friend just joined, Ronke. Ronke's passion has always been to create beautiful pieces. From painting, she's now painting on fabric and all that. That was a passion for her that she has converted into a vision, right? So number 1, I said sources of vision. Number 1, personal values and passion. Number 2, life experiences and lessons. Life experiences and lessons. So I went through this. Many people that are in the social sector right now will tell you that, oh, I was raped, so now I'm working with women in with sexual violence, based violence and things like that. Oh, I was an orphan, so I'm now working with children that are on the street. I was this, I was that, or somebody around me, or my mom, or something. So that comes from experiences or lessons. Your vision can be born out of that. Number 3, goals and aspirations. So you look at your life and say, oh, I would like to be a billionaire by the time I'm 50, right? And so you begin to craft out ways and learn ways that you can become a billionaire at 50. Or you say, oh, I want to be able to provide this and that, right? Or do, just set goals for yourself. I want to have this academic qualification. I want to do this and all of that. Those things can then inspire a vision in you, right? That's number 3, right? Number 4, imagination and creativity. Imagination and creativity. A lot of times when you're a dreamer, you dream about different things, beautiful things, excellent things, just wanting more and more and more. And that imagination then bets in you a vision that why can't we do this so that this can be more? My husband always wants to be innovative because every time he sees something, he says, oh, that can be better. Why can't we create this and that? Like now, so he has a few innovations that he's working on with some partners and things. That's because he has spent a lot of time imagining these things. How can things be better, right? So, and then how can we use our creativity to make it different? So that's number 4. Then number 5, I will unmute one person so that in case there's any reason that you can't, okay, a few of you are muted. In case there's any reason you can't hear me or anything, please just unmute and let me know. Number 5, inspiration from others, right? Somebody I know recently who used to be a coach with me before, his name is Jimmy Tewe. He just released a book called 10 Times More. And that book is so accurate because that's one of the things God has been speaking to me and a few friends of mine about next year being 10 times more. And I think I've shared it with my jewels as well, right? And he just released the book that's so apt for the time. And he released that book because a mentor of his, Olakunle Shorinyo, put pressure on him to release that book, right? Because of the knowledge he has been sharing over the years about what God has been teaching him, right? So you can actually build a vision because of your mentors and your role models, right? That's number 5. So inspiration from mentors, role models, and all that. Number 6, reflection and self-awareness. Just you reflect on your life, on your journey, being very self-aware. Oh, I'm like this and like that. Like a friend of mine who is here, Victoria. Sorry, I'll be calling all of you out. That's how coaching sessions are. Bear with me. Right? I found out recently that she's organizing. She's such a brilliant organizer. I didn't even know that. Right? And that's impressive, because while you are there, you can just say, oh, why don't I start a business organizing people's lives, organizing their homes, organizing their spaces, right? That already inspires a vision, right? Which we have been trying to sell to her. I hope she buys it in the new year. All right. Then number 7, prayer and spiritual connection. This is the one that you just get from God. Maybe you go to sleep and you have a vision, you're praying and God bet something in your heart, says, go ahead and do this. Like there's a new vision that God has put in my heart. Well, I don't think it's new. I think that I just walked into it, because that's what happens to many of us. The vision has always been there, but we just walk into it. So that's number 7, prayer and spiritual connection, right? You just know that this is what God wants me to do at this time. And as you know, you put pen to paper, write the vision and make it plain that those that see it may run with it. There must be a vision that you have written that is plain enough that even your customers and consumers understand it, identify it, and they are able to run with it. And I'll talk more about that when I come to the third thing. All right. So please write your questions. I won't take questions until I'm done, and then we'll just have a session of questions and answers. All right. So what does it mean to be a visionary? What does it mean to be a visionary? You must enter 2025 with a vision. You must be a visionary. You must bet things, because that's the year we are going into. We are going into a year of light. We're going into a year of opportunity. We're going into a year when new things will have to happen to you and for you and by you. All right. Number 1, a visionary sees beyond current limitations. That's why it's a vision. It's bigger than you. It's beyond what you see at the moment. It's beyond what you have experienced. That's why it's a vision. If it's what you are doing that you've been doing, it's nothing new. You just continue. No. In 2025, you need to have something more. 10 times more. Please say it to yourself, 10 times more. I must be 10 times more in 2025. Number 2, envision innovative solutions. Don't just make clothes because other people are making clothes the way they are making clothes. No. Be like Ronke. Prove new things, do new things, come up with your own concepts. That's what a visionary means. I see it in my spirit, and I'm able to bet it into the physical. I download it from the kingdom, from the throne room. I download it from the heavens, and I'm able to bet it and make it a tangible material reality in the physical. You know, number 3, you inspire others with clarity and purpose. That's what a visionary does. That's why people follow you. Because you are a visionary, because they align with the things that you do. Imagine all the people in this group. If I was not able to sell them a vision, why would they be here? The vision must have been clear enough for you to understand, and that's why you are here. So as a visionary, you must have clarity of purpose. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? How will I get it done? Okay? Number 4, you take calculated risks. Why are risks important? Because it hasn't been in existence before. Your vision does not exist. A resemblance, a semblance of it exists, but because it's now your vision, you have to come up with a new way of doing it. You have to come up with an innovative, creative way of doing it. So there has to be risk involved. Will people show up? This conference was having today. So what if nobody showed up? In fact, by the time it was 8 or almost 8, there was one person, and I just kept going. Why? Because it is a calculated risk that people will want to hear my voice and learn from me. All right. Number 4. Stay focused on the long-term directives, long-term objectives. Stay focused. A visionary must stay focused, because if you dilly-dally around, people will become confused because there's no more clarity, and they will leave you, right? They will leave you. They'll be confused and be like, I don't even know what she's doing anymore. I don't know what he's doing anymore. Let me just go. So you have to have very long-term strategic objectives. This is what we are achieving in 5 weeks. This is what we're achieving in 5 months. This is what we're achieving in 1 year. Clear objectives. Okay? You have to, number 6, adapt to changing circumstances. A visionary does not give up. So when things don't happen like you intended to happen, you quickly change. You find a way out. You are a mover. You are a shaker. You make things happen. You don't stop. If it's not going this way, there must be another way. There is always another way. There is always a plan B. There is always an option. You don't give up. You just find what the option is. And the last one, number 7, is a visionary empowers others to achieve their shared goals. That's why I told you the 3 kinds of people that are attracted to me and what I do, because they become shared goals with them. That's why I become a visionary for them. So it's not like they are coming to run with my vision. No, they are running with their vision, but there is a similarity to me. That's why they are with me. I hope this makes sense, but we have to move on. So what are some characteristics are very easy? Open-mindedness for me is the biggest characteristic of a visionary. You have to be open-minded, because when you're open-minded, it's easy to pivot. It's easy to reiterate. It's easy to start again. Visionaries don't give up. Even if something dies, they plant the seed and they start again. So you have to be open-minded. You have to be strong-willed. You have to be open-minded. You have to be strong-willed. There are so many other things you should be, but I'm going to leave you with those 2. Open-minded to grow on that vision, to allow other people come into your vision and help you expand it. So you're not stuck in level 1. To go to level 10, you will need other people to come and be like partners in your vision and grow it. So you're not insecure. No, you have security in the foundation, because that's who you are. The visionary is the foundation. But other people come to help you put the building blocks, and you take their advice. You listen to them strategically. You choose the one that will help you grow and help you scale, and then you move on. All right? So be open-minded. And then the other thing I said, strong will. Strong will is resilient. I will stay with this vision. I will keep building it. I'll keep growing. It might seem slow, but I'm at it. I'm working at it. All right? So there are different types of visionaries, and I've explained that before. The people that are attracted to me are visionaries. If you're in Jewels, you're working with me in any way or the other, it means that you have a visionary call. You have something on you that needs to be built, that needs to be grown, that needs to be exploded, the world needs to see. You are not in the back seats. People in the back seat are not the ones that are attracted to me. People that are going to stand in front of people that are going to do amazing things are the ones that are attracted to my space, and the ones that I coach. The people that lead people, people that come to me are leaders as well in their own right. Okay, I hope we're together. All right. So visionaries transform lives, industries, and communities. Visionaries transform lives, industries, and communities. So whatever vision you have, think about it. Is it going to transform lives? Is it going to transform industries? Is it going to transform communities? Then you're on the right path. Ask yourself, this thing that I want to do, is it going to transform lives? Is it going to transform industries? Is it going to transform communities? Then you're on the right path. And a vision, to cultivate your vision, the only way if you thrive is through the next 5 things. And I'm going to say it very quickly so we move on. Number 1, solitude and reflection. If you do not like alone time, if you don't like to be by yourself, being a visionary might be hard for you, right? You need a lot of time to meditate, to ponder, to think, to dream, so that you can pull the vision out of those dreams. The Bible tells us in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, that the Holy Spirit, that God created the heavens and the earth. And the next verse says, the Holy Spirit was brooding over the waters, was thinking. That's meditation, that's pondering, that's making the earth ready for the vision that he had for it. You have to spend time in meditation. You have to spend time in thinking, in brooding, in planning, in preparation, right? So solitude and reflection are very important. Reading and learning. You have to keep growing. You have to keep reading. Even up to last night, after midnight, about midnight, before I slept, I was still trying to read and find out a few things about what can I add, what can I do better, how can I be better. Why? Because people are following me. If people will follow you, you have to know something that they don't know, because they're only following you because you're telling them something new. Nobody's going to follow someone that doesn't know more than them, right? Excuse me. Number 3, networking and collaboration. See, that solo runs will not work for you in 2025. You need to find people to partner with. You need to find people to collaborate with. Look, when I see ministries struggling alone, especially apostolic ministries, I'm like, look, you have friends, you have other people doing ministries. Do join programs together. Invite each other. When I see businesses that are in the same sector struggling and you know each other, why are you struggling? Come together and think of what we can do together. The Bible says one shall, put 1,000 to fly, 2 shall put 10,000. Why struggle on your own? Next year is the year of networking and collaborations. Network with the right people and collaborate with them as well. Number 4, mindfulness and self-care. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mind. Take care of your body. Your body has to be strong, alive, and well to carry out the mission and the purpose that you're on earth for, right? And your mind has to be sane and safe. Keep your mind safe. Guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. Choose the things you're putting in yourself so that your heart remains guarded. Self-care and mindfulness. Be very mindful of the people you're interacting with. Be very mindful of the things you're taking. And the last one is you have to embrace challenges as opportunities. Challenges are opportunities, right? Say it to yourself, write it to yourself. When challenges come, they are only opportunities. Right, so I'm going to be ending the vision talk right there, and I'm going to move into multipotentiality, right? Because you have to have a vision for the things that you have been called to do, the things you have been graced to do, the things you have been mandated to do. And I just want to challenge you and say this. Before you go into multiple enterprises, right, into doing multiple things, find the grace you have. Ensure that the grace you have can carry those things. Because no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how well-read and vast you are, there is a grace you have. The grace that is making you relevant to the earth. Use that grace. Make sure that you are working in that grace. I have a grace to speak wisdom into the hearts of people. And so I am using it. I'm a facilitator, I'm a trainer, I'm a speaker, everything I'm doing is because I have recognized the grace I carry of wisdom to speak into the lives of people and change them. So take your time and identify the grace you carry, because that is what will then buoy you or carry you through whatever career, business path, or ministry path that you have. All right, I hope this makes sense. All right. Now, because we are like God, created by Him, we have been graced to have multiple strengths. Multiple potentiality means that you have plenty potential, but they will remain potential if you do not put them to work. Right, that's why we talk about it as potential, because that's still the dream states that you have. It's possible, your possibility, you have it, but until you turn it to action, until you turn it to a vision that is actionable, it remains potential. All right, so think about the story of the talent. We are not told that those people were born with those specific talents, no, but we're told that they were given those talents and expected to multiply. So that means even the person that was given one talent, like some of you will tell me, I'm not creative, it's just one thing I know how to do. Some of you that were given one talent are also expected to multiply. Because remember, when the king came back and he looked at his stewards and realized that the one with one talent did not multiply, he got angry and he threw him into the prison. He was so disappointed with him. You had only one thing. You could not multiply it into 3. And I will tell you the secret of multiplication for your multipotentiality today. Right? Because the people that have accepted early that they have a lot of potential, that they have a lot of gifts, are the ones that do great things very quickly because they've accepted it. If you refuse to accept your multipotentiality, you cannot be multi-talented. You cannot have multiple skills or multiple outcomes. No, you have to first of all accept it, identify with it, and accept it. All right? It is diverse. We are all meant to be diverse. Right? And that is you accepting your diversity. All right. So I said I'll tell you the secret. And the secret, first of all, is to accept it. Whether it's doing or not, just accept that I'm able to do multiple things. This is the foundation. And I'm going to tell you this is the secret, the foundation. Is that the multiple things that you have been graced and mandated to do all come from the same source and the same core. You are meant to help people. That is your core. That is your source. Help. People need to feel me. They need to hear me. They need to see me because I have something to give them. That is your source. Out of that thing, you can begin to bet the different divergent services and products that are within you. So what am I saying? I'm saying that you have to own your identity as a multipotentialite, right? I don't know why that word keeps giving me stress. Right. You have to own your identity and then find the connections between all these things you're interested in. Is it parenting? Out of parenting, like I see one of my new friends here. That's why I'm using the example. Can I bet a course? Can I start a YouTube channel? Can I become a public speaker talking about parenting? Can I start a club for children? Can I start a website for pregnant women? Can I, excuse me. I hope you see how many things are being bettered from one thing for renting, right? Is it creativity? I'm just a really creative person. I have talent with my hands and my skills. So what can I do? Can I start making clothes? Can I start selling my design? Can I begin to open a fashion school, right? Can I make hair accessories? Can I, I don't know, build things. I know a lot of, there's a non-profit that has invited me to speak for them a few times. And what they've done is they teach you a next skill. So if you have one skill, they teach you the next skill that you can combine with it so that you can have multiple skills, right? So that you can do multiple things. And that's what I need you to understand. What is your core? What is your center? What have you been called to do? My center, my purpose in life is to create a platform for people to express themselves. It was very confusing for me at the beginning when I got it, and I didn't know what to do with it. But I decided to ask more, and I said, okay, so what are the strengths I have, Lord? Show it to me. And after a while, he showed me that I have core strength in writing and in speaking. And so I decided to begin to use it, first of all, as a consultant. How do I use my voice? How do I use my presentations, my slides? And that started. And then now I have books, and then I have coaching programs, and then I have things. And now out of there, we are running projects, and we are building innovations, and then we are starting new companies. Everything. And then I have a non-profit that works with women and girls because I am also called to women specifically, right? I hope you understand the journey I'm trying to put on you with multipotentiality. You have to know it and see it as a strength. Diversity is a strength. Multipotentiality is diversity in strength. Multipotentiality is diversity in strength. And to do this again, let me tell you, build a support system. This when networking and collaboration comes, you can't do it alone. Right? And then focus on execution, focus on getting things done, focus on bringing results, and I will give you an assignment and give you a task to do as I come. Yeah, the thing to do is think about all the things you can do and find the smallest version of it and start there. In business, we call it the minimum viable product. What is the minimum version of the things in your heart that you can begin to do? You want to build a school, a grand school. Why don't you start from lessons? Teaching people lessons. Why don't you start from attending all the early stage courses and all those things that they do to build your, so that you have the right certificate? Why don't you start by running somebody else's school and then you build yours? And then from there, you come up with other things, a children's gym, and so on and so forth. Anything you tell me is your skill now. I'm sure I can tell you at least 3 things that you can build out of it. And that is what is multipotentiality. That is what makes you a multipotentialite. That is why you have been given talents 5, 10, 1 at the same time, and you are expected to be able to multiply it. Imagine someone with 10 talents. What are they supposed to produce again out of 10? All right. So I'm going to give you a routine that you can begin to do that can help you expand in this thing that we are talking about, that can make you 10 times more. Number 1, mindful start. Practice meditation, right? Practice journaling, practice breathing, all those things that can just bring you into a calm state where you can really think, where your mind can explode, right? Reflection, those things that you do on your own, that's the first thing. Do it first thing in the morning when you wake up, and do it the last thing before you go to bed. It just brings everything together, helps your mind to be at peace, and also very organized so that you can outline your priorities and do them properly. Mindful start or mindful end to your day. That's number 1. Number 2, physical activity. It has been proven scientifically that people that engage in physical activity like exercise, yoga, Pilates, all those things are able to energize their bodies and their minds. They're able to be quick thinkers. They're able to get things done very quickly because they have engaged in an activity that has allowed their blood to flow and has triggered their thought processes. Number 3, prioritize your task. Don't try to do too many things at the same time. Prioritize them. Give them time slots. Make sure you create a timesheet of your day for yourself so that you are doing everything at the same time but at different slots in the day, right? So that everything comes out well. That's number 3. And number 4, creative block. Dedicate about 30 to 1 hour of your time every day just to think. Just to think. I used to tell my brother, me and my brother joke about this, that sometimes we don't think. We don't allow our minds to think, because once we start thinking, new things start popping up. We are very alike. We're the same kind of people. So we don't think. So I block my mind from thinking until I'm ready. And because I have trained my body with mindfulness. So when I'm ready to think, I just begin to birth. Let me tell you something. For those of you that attended Start Strong, do you know that in my preparation for Start Strong, I know I didn't speak for long because I didn't have to. Steve Harris had already dropped a bomb on everybody, and everybody was still reeling from it. So I did not want to drop a bomb as well. But do you know, in my preparation for it, because of how mindful I am about things now from training, I was able to write a new book. Yes, I've written a book about multiple potentiality, right? In just my preparation for that. And my editor was so excited because that's her own work. She wants to edit as many as possible. We have like 5 or 6 books we're not done with. But I was able to create another one because of my research, because I was thinking, because I was breathing, because I was calm. I was right there in my center for that program. Can you see how God works? If you are willing to open yourself to creativity, He will give you creativity. Now, there's something called the 50-10 rule, and I'm going to end this session with that. There is a 50-10 rule. It is work for 50 minutes on a task, then take a 10-minute break to refresh. Don't rush everything. Work on 50 minutes on a task and take 10 minutes to refresh. Why? Because your mind is so active and alert. Your brain is always working excessively. Giving it time to rest is important because every time you rest, your brain is able to arrange everything in it like blocks. So that when you come back to it, you can just pull out a block and say, okay, this is what I was working on. Let me take it back and begin to think about it again. But when you are so clogged, you forget things and you're not able to do things. All right? So create a routine every day, review, reset, create it so that you are always coming back to what I call your center. All right. So I hope these routines help you as you build this. And that's the second thing we have talked about. So I've talked about visionaries, vision and visionaries. I've talked about multipotentiality for 10 times more in 2025. And now I'm going to close out with business health, visibility, and growth. I know that this is tough on some people because you're not used to having this. You're used to having one, then questions and answer. But please write your questions, take your notes, and I'll take questions after, I promise. So give me about a few minutes to do this, and then we'll go into our questions and answer. Again, coaching session is really about questions and answer, more or less. And I hope that as I've been speaking, some of the questions you have in your heart have been answered. I hope so. So just take a deep breath, like me. Let me teach you some mindful breathing. I've taught most of you if you've been in my classes. Right, just close your eyes at this time and then just breathe in. So breathing through your nose as much air as you can take in, and then just open your mouth slightly and breathe into your mouth. Okay, breathe in through your nose as much as you can take in, and then breathe through your mouth, breathe out through your mouth. All right, that's what you need to do. It's called mindful breathing, just to help your body and your mind relax. Now, so we're going to do it one more time. I'm going to count to 4 in between, and then you breathe out. So I will tell you to breathe in. I'll count to 4, and then you breathe out. All right. So let's breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out through your mouth. All right. So do that, on your own many times. I'm not going to spend time there. Let's go. All right. So now we're going to talk about the primary issues around business health, visibility, and growth. And I know that this should take like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month to teach, but I'm just going to give you some basics. And the basics I'm teaching you, I learned from a book called The Purpose-Driven Church. So I recommend to you, whoever you are, to not only read The Purpose-Driven Life, because a lot of people read The Purpose-Driven Life and stop there because they are not pastors. But trust me, go and read The Purpose-Driven Church. It will teach you business and personal development tips that many business books do not know or understand. What I'm about to teach you is from that book. Well, with touches from other places, but the foundation of it is from that book. So what are primary business health issues and visibility and growth issues? You don't think your business is expanding. You don't think you're visible enough. People are seeing you, contacting you, you're not growing on social media. You don't think that, your business is doing well. All right. 3 questions I will start with. This is the primary issues. Then we'll talk about secondary issues and we'll close out. Write this down. Number 1. Who is your master? In bracket, consumer. Because your master for your business is your consumer. Why do we call them your master? It's because they are the people that you serve, right? They are the people that your business is created to serve. So if you're able to answer who your master consumer is, you'll be able to answer who do you serve, right? The consumer is the person that takes the product or service you have and pays you money for it, right? That's who your no, well, they don't necessarily pay you, but your consumer is the person that you are creating stuff for. They're the people that need these things that you're creating. They're the people that what you're creating will help, whether it's a product or a service. They are your master because they're the people that you serve. So you need to be able to identify them. Who am I creating this food for, this clothes for? Who are the people that will wear it? Who are the people that will appreciate it? Who are the people that will, consume it? Who are they? So that when you're creating, you know exactly the people you're creating for. Identify them. So you build your business and your brand. Number two, what is your message? Your message is the content. What are you telling people that you are, right? What are the things that you carry? What is the final output, right? How does it look? I've seen some people's final output. I'm like, hey, it might be great, but the covering just looks terrible. The container is not good, so nobody can get to the content if the container is not good. So be careful about how you separate content from container. Trust me, you have to be careful. Last year, Equa Church invited me for their conference, right? And I got a new dress, I got the turban, I did everything as I should, because the content can only be accepted if the container is accepted in many settings. So who is your master? The master should determine the container and the content. I hope this makes sense, right? Right. So what is your message means, what do you say? How do you say it? Because that will attract the people. That will attract the consumer. All right. The third one is, what is your motive? Your conscience. Your motive behind doing this thing. And that's where dreams and visions come into play. If there is no inner motive, if there's no consciousness of this thing that you're creating and doing, there's no call, there's no mandate behind it, right? It will be hard for you to remain driven. It will be very hard for you to remain passionate, because there's nothing else. There's no grace that is carrying you through it. There must be grace, so that even when you're frustrated, you keep going. I've seen my dear friend Joke here, right? And the work she's doing is very hard work, but she's pushing through because she has grace for it. If somebody else is doing her work, the person would have, you can't do the work she's doing, because of the grace she carries. She carries grace to help people get freed, falsely accused people in prison get freed, or even people that have like minimal sentences. She's providing help for them, support and all that. Imagine interacting with people like that all the time. It's grace. It's an anointing. So those are the primary issues you should look out for. Who is your master, consumer? What is your message, content? And what is your motive, conscience? Those three things are the primary things you need to deal with when you're talking about your business health, visibility, and growth. Secondary issues now. The secondary things you need to deal with in this area. These are secondary, means that they should come after you've answered the first three, right? Who is your market? Who is our market? That means customer. Because when you're talking about market, you're talking about people that will pay, people that will exchange money for what the consumer wants. They are not always the same people, right? For instance, you're creating baby food and all of those things. It's not the mother that is eating it or the father. So you know that you're creating it to the taste of the child, because the child is the consumer, but the mother and the father are the customers, the people paying for it, right? So you need to know the difference. So number one is, who is your market? Who is paying? So you appeal to those people as well. Number two is, what are our models? Models refer to structure. Have you put structure in place so that your business can be viable, so that if you're not there, somebody else can carry on from where you started? Right? That's one big thing for me in business, for any business owner, structure. Somebody was giving me a testimony a few days ago about how one lady is getting a lot of things in her business. We have 4 more minutes. A lot of interest. People are engaging her to come and cook for them as private chefs, to cook in the office and all of that. And in my head, red flags, alarm was just blaring. Why? Because even if God gives you all the opportunities in the world and you don't have the structure for it, your business is going to crash. No matter how anointed you are, even if you run a church, you do not put structure, make it viable. Without you, eventually it will crash. Number three, what are our methods? Culture. Methods refer to culture. How do we do what we do and wow and wow people? How do we package it? How do we say it? How do we do? You know, Steve Harris was saying all of you dancing on Instagram. You're not attracting the wealthiest. But you know what I'll say to you? That's true. But if your business is not for the wealthiest people and you're looking for 5K, you know, what they call that thing, 5K, 2K, whatever, and you dance, you probably attract those right the people. You know, all these mobile banks, that's what they do. The kind of people that they put to advertise for their banks, Opay and Palmpay, when you watch it, you'll be wondering why. But the people they are looking for look like that. That's what will attract them, that they can loan 5K, 50K and pay it back with 100 naira. They know their people. And so they know that if they dance, if they carry people that their wig is half off or, you know, look dirty or they're fighting on the street, they will attract the audience they're looking for. So you need to be very strategic. I've mentioned 3 primary and 3 secondary things for you as a business. As you enter 2025, these are very strategic things you need to begin to think about. How do I attract the people I'm looking for? What do I say? What do I wear? How do I speak? Where do I go? All those questions it should be buzzing in your mind. Why? Because as you build clarity, visibility, health in your brand or in the things that you do, you are creating a clear-cut identity between you and your consumer. And that is what you need to have. Who am I working for? Who am I planning events for? Am I doing everything? Who am I emceeing for? Because I do some comparing. People don't even know I do it. Why? Because I do it for only exclusive audiences. I do it for only high-profile corporate events or government events or things like that. I just don't do it. So I don't even need to publicize it too much so that not everybody will come to me because not everybody is my market. So you need to know that and understand how do you do it, your identity. What is my identity? Write it down. What is my identity as a person and as a business? What is my identity? Your identity is that you understand the reason for your being, your existence, and you have a precise purpose. You have a precise purpose for that thing you're building, whether it's your personal brand or your business. You have a precise purpose. Everything I've just said will also work in you building your personal brand. So please note it and just answer it like you're building your personal brand, right? So as I round up, I want to say that every business or every personal brand, because if you are building a personal brand, your personal brand becomes your business, right? So it has the potential to become recognizable by what you do and how you do it. It becomes recognizable. If you are going to be like a superstar consultant, you might not need to have 1 million followers to make the kind of money you want. Because 2 or 3 gigs in a year, very good gigs, can make you a millionaire in hundreds of millions, to be honest. So you need to understand what you are really chasing. Are you chasing numbers or are you really chasing outcomes? Right? Are you chasing influence on social media or are you chasing results, tangible results? Be very clear on what you are looking for. So write these 5 questions down as we round up. Number one, who do I want to service? Who do I want to service? Now remember that there are primary and there are secondary customers or consumers. So when you write the one that is primary, these are the primary people. You also think of the secondary people. For instance, my dear friend Joke now, right? Her primary people are the formerly incarcerated people. She has taught me to say that, not to say any other thing. So I'll switch it. Formerly incarcerated people, right? That's her primary audience. But the secondary might be like their family members, the institution, that's the justice institution, right? And then the vocational people, vocational instructors that will come and teach those people life skills, those become secondary people because she has to deal with those people. I hope that makes sense. Number 2, how often do we want to service them? How often? So you need to have a timesheet and say, oh, like for instance, Chineye, I build websites. I can build one website over this period of time. So that means I cannot have more than 5 or 3 or 2 websites at the same time and give them the same deadline, right? And how often do I want to take on websites over the year to make this amount of money? I tell people, always try to walk back from the money. Don't try to create the business and fix the money. No, I want to make 100 million naira by December 2025. How do I make it? Then you walk back from the money. I need to have this number of clients. I need to have this number of services. I need to do this. I need to do that, like that. Yeah. Number 3, where are they? Find them. If they're on social media, make sure your social media brand is excellent. If they're in the market, make sure that works. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they will determine how you can reach them. Number 4, How do we convince them to use us? How do I convince them to use me? How do I convince them? I was talking to my auntie here yesterday, and I was telling her that there's a brand that I know that is in her location as well. And the lady just churns out simple, easy to wear designs that are less than 10K. And she is right there in Ikorodu, but people are ordering 10 dresses at the time, 15 dresses at the time, and she has a style. So you see that that's a competition if that's your niche as well. And then you learn what they are doing and learn how to convince your own market as well. And then number 5 is, what do we do to consistently maintain and increase our customer base? What do we do to consistently maintain and increase our customer base? So this is what I'm here to say. Oh, crap. Hold on. Right. This is what I'm going to say as I round up. You're building a brand that should be 10 times more than it was this year in 2025, because that's the only way you will survive. That has come in by prophecy, that has come in by scientific research, that everything will be bigger, more pronounced in the next year, right? People that have money will have a lot more in the next year. People that have no money will have a lot less. That's just the way the world is programmed. So which end of the spectrum do you want to be? Do you want to be visible enough to build something more? You have to think about all the 3 things I just shared and how you can do more and be more. So your goal in 2025 is to be 10 times more. Your goal in 2025, again, I said, is to be 10 times more. How can I do this thing I'm doing, but more? Either to more audiences or come up with new viable products, new minimum viable products. Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. And for some of you, might not be able to start in January because you need to go through the meditative process, the mindful process to really figure it out, to think it through. And when you think it through, write the vision, create a vision board that shows where you are going, right? So that you can then take those steps to get there. And I hope that these 3 things I've shared has been helpful. I hope it's good enough to close our year of coaching. I hope it's good enough to convince some of you to join me for my next year coaching, as I'll be opening shortly, either paid or free in this group. And that's it. So thank you very much for listening. I'm going to allow a number of you speak now so that we can quickly take some questions. And please let me know if it has been helpful. Please. You can either say it out if you're muted, or you can just post it in the chat. I need your feedback to hear if it has been helpful, right? So thank you everyone. Thank you. Right? Anybody willing to feedback, comment? Has this been helpful? What have you learned? And then we can take some questions. Can you still hear me? Because the silence is a lot. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
So
it's
been a really good session.
okay.
And I like the way you've kind of dichotomized it, set our train of thought on the different angles, from the visionary all the way down. I think a lot of practical things that one will also take away from here. Personally have to release them again. And then, it's just going to birth a lot of other thoughts, business-wise, what you want to do. I particularly like the point of one of the last points you just shared, working backwards from what you want to get, what the amount you want to make. So, because I personally sometimes find that activity and all pushes my adrenaline, but does that activity really give me the sort of financial output that I desire? So when I'm looking at it now backwards, I run events, and multipotentiality started coming up quite a bit for me this year, which means I need to explore further next year. Within that space, what kind of things I do within the kind of money I want. If I go and use so much energies on what will give me a 500k, 1 million naira output, and I can do 1-2 that will give me 24 or 15 million. So these things are provoking those kind of thoughts, and will definitely make me plan my time better and put my resources into better use, so that I do a lot of things really when it comes to season, end of year time, Christmas tree. If those things are not, which one is giving me more money? Because really at the end of the day, I want money. I want plenty. So it's making me think. And so it's really planned. It's going really, I don't think I've ever really planned my year out with that in mind. And definitely that's going to help me work that way in 2025, that I'm investing my energies and putting my input into what I really want to see. So that I'm not just driving on a journey of activity, but activity that's giving me the sort of money that I want to see and visibility that I want for my business. So thanks once again. That's just my thoughts in summary that I just thought to share as a feedback.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that feedback. That's really amazing. Thank you. Yes, and I'll just add to that. If you've read my book, Smash Your Goals, one of the things that I keep saying there that some other coaches or coaches don't like is that be ready, be flexible. So even when you have a plan and you set goals and all of that, be flexible because the world is changing, right? Please help me mute if you're muted because I think that me and somebody are clashing. Or is it just me? Right. The world is changing. And to keep up with the world, sometimes you might need to change your goals. You might need to bend your goals. You might need to do something else because things have changed, right? Just imagine some people are still using Skype. I know that they use Skype in some places, but in Nigeria, it's very hard to find people using Skype because the world has changed. More people on Zoom or Teams or Google Meet or even Telegram like we are right now. So, whatever your plan is, have a solid plan, but be aware of what's happening in the world so that you can always be malleable, you can change, and all of that. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. In fact, I just thank God that I didn't miss this program. But I never thought, I didn't plan to attend initially because I have somewhere that I want to go this morning. But I've been stuck at the place, so I just said that I should do it. I should join. Well, my own take in this, in everything, that I've had this morning is about my multipotentiality, and that my multipotentiality, I need to strategize with it, and I need to perfect each one. I don't need to jump from one, potential to another. And secondly, I've been able to understand today that that I need to know exact people that I really want to sell to, because I'm not selling to everybody. So I need to get a niche for myself.
Yeah.
In terms of the customers base that I needed. And lastly, I need to separate my businesses in such a way that, okay, fine, I love to give back to the people, and at the same time I need money, to sort out my own issues. So I need to make like a thin line between it, so that I would not be dangling in between the two, and at the end nothing will be show for it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Compliment of the
You're
service.
welcome.
God bless you.
Thank you. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love that. Everything you said is just on point. Build the skill. Build it, build it, build it. So you become like the person that owns that space. Thank you. All right. Anybody else? And questions, you can ask questions too, please.
Good morning, everybody.
I have a question.
Please go ahead. Hello.
Okay, my
morning, everyone.
question is, fine, I understand the networking is good, it's fine. But my own challenge now is that how can I network with someone that will not hijack the total business? At times you network with, because I've done it before and the business was hijacked totally. So how can I do that?
Okay. So let me just say this. Networking does not mean collaboration. So networking is different. You're talking about collaboration. Networking is just getting to know people that can influence your life and make you better and, form good relationships and support systems. Okay. So collaboration, please, you have to get to know the people well before you go into collaboration. Or you make it strictly business where there is an agreement and a lawyer is there to sign your agreement. So that if somebody goes out of what you have agreed, they can be sued, right? They owe you. So whatever collaboration you're going into, even if it's with your family member, please put an agreement in place. put something in writing, right? So that everybody knows what their clear responsibilities are in the collaboration. And so they deliver on it. And if they are fault finding, then there is a place in that agreement that says what the penalties of going outside the agreement is. All right. So please don't do anything by yourself or just agree to no. Please put it in writing. I have to do. If I right now I don't even need lawyer to do write up again. I just need the lawyer to sign because we have so many agreements for different things. Right? It has to be that way. All right. Okay. Thank you. Please go on, Auntie Emi. I know you wanted to speak.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. I thank God for this opportunity to be part of this meeting. There's so many questions I have in my heart, and I always ask myself, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Just like what I told you about, I noticed that I have this years back when I was really into sewing. I sew a lot and got to a stage after sometimes I couldn't sew again. I have to start traveling and getting those materials. And it was really, people are really out looking for me. Whenever I travel, come back, they always want to buy from me because they know that what they will get from me will not be what they will get anywhere. And it was like that. At times, after sometimes I noticed that I cannot travel again, and I decided that what else can I do? I was able to say, okay, I can start. I don't want to have this issue of sewing for people, and people will complain and complain. This. I don't have that. How do I say it? I don't have patience for that anymore. So I tend sewing and putting it outside for people to buy. So I started with it, and it's like the area where we are, people they will always want to buy it. Like they want to buy a gown sewn with material and everything for 4,000 naira. And I look at it, I said, with a lot of effort to sew, to make everything neat enough.
Yeah.
So I was like, how will I go about this thing? I was already tired. And recently, and I have a friend in America, a very close friend of mine, my childhood friend. And I was always telling her, are you looking at me like this? I want to start to sell to people that will really appreciate it and pay well, that will really pay me. So recently, she now said, okay, the husband is going to come and join her. Why not so? I said, I don't have money. He said, don't worry, I'll send money to you. She sent money to me. I was able to sew different styles. And the husband took it with him to America. On getting there, they brought out the things, and the first people she showed them to said, this is fine, this is neat. She called me and said, I want to really appreciate you. You have really made me proud. They were just like, all of them were saying, these ones are like ready-made. So your friend made it. He said, yes. I said, don't worry. But after all those things, the issue now is that she was not able to sell. Said because of the now because of the cold, most people are not wearing something like that. Not until after the cold. I said no problem. So I was like, even with that, it's still like she's just the one that put down the money for me to get the material. But it's like I don't know how we are going to do it that it will not cause problem between us. Do you understand? So I have so many things like this in my heart, and I was like, how do I go about it? That is in the area of my business. Then in the area of passion, I know I went through some things in my marriage, and God brought me out with a big testimony. And I've been using it to help women, especially those women that are having issue with their marriage. And when I was still at Bariga, I was able to. So many women are following me. We talk any little thing. Say, Mommy, I'm coming. Mommy, you this. Mommy, you that. I've been doing that. But when I moved on to this place, I find out that it was not like that. It was some few people, like my daughters. One of my daughters. Sorry, please. Hope I'm not taking time.
No, go ahead, please.
So just like my daughter's boss. They were into nails and everything where my daughter is learning work. And she made me to know that she was really passing through something in her marriage. So I have to invite her. I invited her. I talked with her. I told her, I said, number one thing is, please, because she has already developed a BP because of those issues. And I told her, the first thing I told her, I said, come, the first thing for you to have peace of mind, forgive this guy. And she did that. And immediately you can see it on her. You can see it on her. She has peace of mind. Her work is going on fine after that. Then after, there was an issue of paying school fees. This guy wanted a very big school. And sometimes he doesn't have money. And this lady will say, I cannot be looking at my children staying at home, doing nothing. I want to, I said, see, I've been there. The ones you know you can carry, the school you know you'll be able to afford, that is where they should go. Don't allow him to push you. And after some time, you won't see him again. And that was it. So these are the types of passions I have. But I was like, I can get people to follow me, at least. I know that my passion that God gave to me is to help people, help women, hurting.
Okay, ma'am. So let me try.
And that is it. So I believe there's some things I need to know.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Yes. So I'm just going to give two answers and then move on, and we can always talk another time. The first one about the business is that I think that there are lessons you have learned already from the experiences that you've had that you can write down. And then when you see, one of the ways to grow in any area of your life is to write down all the experiences that you've had, put a column, and then write the outcome that you want to have had, what you would have preferred to have experienced on beside each one. So for instance, one of the experiences you've had is that you make clothes and people want to buy it at a low cost. That is the experience you've had. What do you want to have is the next column is, I want people to be able to, the clothes they are pricing at 4,000, I want them to be able to buy at 15,000. That's what should be on the next column. Now, to answer that line is to say, okay, so where are the people that are going to pay for this thing at 15,000? Where are they? Right? And then find those people. So for instance, you can open your shop in another part of the town instead of being where you stay. You can get a shop somewhere else or sell in another person's shop, because I know people that don't even have their shop. They just make clothes and sell in another shop. That can be an answer to this thing, so that you are positioning yourself and your products around where people that can afford it stay. And then if you want to remain relevant in where you stay, then you have to think of the option that suits there. So that means you might want to have two business lines. The one that suits the people in your area where they can pay minimal prices for it. Maybe the fabric should be the cheapest, maybe the style should be the easiest, simple, easy to wear. And then you can sell the other things in bigger locations. A friend of mine doesn't even have a shop. She sells from her house and people come to meet her there because they trust her brand. But her major expression is fairs. She does fairs. She every time there's a fair, she applies. Do you know that a lot of banks and organizations allow you to join their fair for free? GT Bank, GT Fashion Week, free. You just apply and they take you. So one of the things I think you should look out for is the fairs that you can go for free with your products and sell off. At those fairs, you can sell maximum prices, because the kind of people that will come for fairs like that, especially within Lagos town, are the people that can afford that. So consider that where you are may not be where your customers are. Consumers are definitely there, but they are not customers. They're not able to pay. So you need to find where that's one of the points I put. Where are these people? Where they are, right? So that you can sell to them. And then they need to identify you as a person that sells this kind of quality, high materials and premium brand. Okay. Then as per your ministry, I think one of the easiest way to do now is use social media. Create a Telegram group like I have done, right? That's an easy tip for you. Send a broadcast message. How did this group come about? In 2020, I sent a broadcast message to say, hey, I'm going to be doing a Telegram conference. If you're interested in learning, blah, 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 join the group. And we had over 200 people join this group. And that's the group I've maintained till last year when I told them they could exit if they wanted to, because we are evolving into something new and some people left. So two things you need to be sure. And I will send the notes here so that you will see all things that talk about being a visionary. You have to let people go when it's time. You have to know when to pivot when it's time. But always realize that you can start with what you have. And one of the things you have is you have social media. You have a Telegram channel, a WhatsApp channel. Put women in there and start counseling. Every Saturday, go live, talk about something for 30 minutes, pray with them for 30 minutes. Everybody wants prayers, right? Do weekly prayers once a week or something, and call people to that group, something that's easy for you. Start there. As you do it there and you craft well, put together messages, well put together sermons, well put together write-ups, and brand it, PDF it, put your logo, put your name on that, sign it. As people are sharing it out, you put number there. If you can create a website, please do. If you can't, it's okay. But put a number there, put all those things there, and begin. People will start sharing it. People will start looking for you. That's how it is. You have to put yourself out there. This is what I have. This is what I know. Come and take it. And they come and they take it. Half of the work I do right now is other people that say, oh, you need to share her, you need to call her, you need to use her, and all of that. This November and December was so busy for me. I was in retreats and retreats and retreats. Not even my clients, other people's clients, because they're like, oh, no, share something that helps you end the year and helps you start well. I have begun to build a brand in that area. Do you understand? And that's the way to do it. So I'll end there and then we can talk about other things more. But let me just add this, and this for everyone. Always know who the other people in the market that are doing what you're doing are. Know them. Know how they are doing, what they are doing, what's making them bigger and better, so that you too, you do it. By now you should know what are the things that you do that makes you successful, that makes you have better results than other people. Those are the things you notice, so that you amplify those things and stop struggling doing things that you like but is not gaining you any traction. What is gaining you traction? From the things that you're doing, right? That's what you need to focus on and do better. All right. And surround yourself with like-minded people that think like you. So even if you live in a community where they are poor or they don't think, they're thinking, they're not open-minded and all of that, they're not forward-thinking, you need to then find friends and find people that can think and help you, so that you can grow and do better. I hope this is helpful, ma'am. Thank you. All right, so I think we can take one or two more questions or comments, and then we will close for today. All right, anybody else? Sorry, I'll unmute you and allow you to speak. Okay. Anybody question, comment, anything on anything at all? It's a coaching session, so you can literally ask anything at all. Okay, so I'll answer one or two questions that I have received, and I'll just answer it here. One question here, I'll summarize it, a lot, but the person is wondering, how can I do things that are different at the same time? So I want to do some ministry, I want to work with people, do some social impact work, and I want to sell my business. How do I do it at the same time? Like I said, when I talk about multipotentiality, that's why it's multiple potentials you have. But try and find the center. How are all these things related? You know how people build companies and form subsidiaries? Think of it as your one company and that has multiple subsidiaries, so that your energy source comes from one place. Does that make sense? So that your core comes from one place, and then you can push that energy easily through all the different channels, but it's the same energy. Try and see where they connect, find their connections, all these things, so that you can express it easily, right? A number of people here have met me in different platforms because it still connects. It's something they still want. Even though it's different expressions I have, it's still something they still want from me because they have found the connection. So find your connection and then you can express it. And trust me, once you are going, it's God that gives you speed. But you have to be moving to get speed. You cannot have speed if you're stationary, if you're not doing anything. To gain speed, you need to stop thinking about how now. Just start with the first one. When I started feeling a strong call and mandate and all that so many years ago, I think 2010 or so, I spoke to somebody and he said, just find the easiest thing and start with that one. Find the easiest thing and start with that one, because that will give you backbone. That will help build strength and resilience. That will give you experience. And then you will use that experience and strength and backbone to begin to build other things, right? To begin to grow in understanding of other things, right? So now there's some things that if you just wake me from sleep and say, oh, so can you do this? Can you do that? I can. I really can. Why? Because I have experience in building it, so I can. All right. So I hope that answers that question. Now, the second question is, somebody was asking this question before the conference. He says, how do I start something that I don't have any experience in? I don't know anything, just in my heart that I should do this, I should do this. I feel I'm called to this place, but I don't know anything. It's a very simple thing for me. Go and find the experience. Find somebody that is already doing something like that and volunteer with them and work with them and make them mentors. It doesn't matter how old they are or what they know. You are not, that's another thing. And I'll answer a mentoring question last and then we'll go, right? Follow people that know road, and so that you can learn and then you can get experience and then you can start yours. That's how we all got here. We worked with people, we learned, we went to school, we acquired knowledge, we never stop learning so that we can keep going. All right. Okay. Then the last question I'll answer is on mentorship, right? And this question is, how do I find the right mentors and how do I serve them? Okay. All right. Simple. How do you find the right mentors? All the areas of your life that you want growth in, that you want expression in, you find people that already have expression and growth in those areas. Now, it might not be exactly the same. For instance, you want to build a personal brand in food, for instance. You don't need to find someone that has a personal brand in food. Just find someone that has built a personal brand in whatever they are doing. And then they can mentor you and give you tips and talk to you about their experiences and things that they've done. But a way to have an effective mentor is to be present in their lives. Show up for them, ask them questions, follow them around, be present. Why? Because for mentoring or mentorship, you catch more things than you are taught. You catch it. More things are caught than they are taught. By being in their space, in their presence, their spirit, you are able to take off their spirit more than the things that they say. That's why mentoring has to be a physical engagement. You need to be near those people, join their program, join their group, be present when they are there, right? Because you catch more things. If it's a role model you need, you don't need to be present with them. You just need to check out their videos, read their books, learn of them. That's the difference between mentoring and this. So find for different things. One of my coaches told me that he has a mentor for his marriage, he has a mentor for his ministry, and he has a mentor for his business. He has 3 mentors. That is how he has divided it. He does not look to the mentor for his business for marriage. No. He does not look to the mentor for his ministry for business. No. He has separated it clearly. Why? Because when you put too much pressure on one person and that person breaks in one area, you will break. Don't hold anybody to too high a standard, right? That they can fall from. Just take that one thing you want to learn from that person and then have it and serve them. Be present for them. Do stuff for them because you are catching something. And then that reward that you have, like one of the things that just pushed me and boosted my speaking, my consulting and everything that I'm doing now is because of who I serve. Wholeheartedly without reservation. That's what you need to do. Because the reward for that service is you having your own expression. It's you having your own platform. Right? What can I do for you? Like the person that is my editor now, right? She's serving me really. She's being a mentee and all of that, but I know what she's learning. I know what she's learning and what she's also gaining. I have somebody here who has become my producer, right? I'm producing stuff and managing stuff for me. She too, she's getting what she's getting. She knows. Just be sure of the thing that you are getting as well from these people. Just be sure why you are there, because if you are not sure and clear on this connection and why you are there and what you are getting, after a while you will lose it and you will go, right? You will go. So be very clear on this. All right. And I think I will end here because those are the questions I will want to answer here. Any other question I didn't answer is because I will answer it privately. I don't think that it's for everybody. I think it's a more private question. So if there's nobody, I'm just going to give 5 seconds to wait for anybody to speak up. If there's nobody in 5 seconds, then I will round up this meeting. 1, 2.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Chidebe Ostadema.
Okay, nice to
I
meet
want
you.
to, yes, I want to appreciate you for your time, your commitment to what you are doing. This is
Thank you.
my second time of, joining your session.
Okay.
Although I joined late today, but I already gotten great value.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I have a question, or let me say, like the experience I'm having recently.
Okay.
I'm into wealth creation sector. We
Okay.
build wealth, we help HNIs to build wealth through profitable real estate investment here in Nigeria. So, but I noticed that recently, sometimes I might have clients who indicated interest in our service, and the discussion will be smooth. But let me say, when the deal is about to be closed, it will look as if they are shying away from doing the needful.
Okay.
Yes, so I don't really know the major cause of that, whether it is from me or from them, and it has been giving me some concern.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can just contribute to these thoughts. I'm not an expert in real estate, but I think that real estate costs a lot of money, right?
Yeah,
And I think it's a big decision for people to invest in real estate. Well, it depends on where they're investing. Some places don't cost as much. So I think
yeah,
that maybe the homework you can do before you even begin to ask for their money is to find out if they actually have that money that they are willing to spend. Because some people, some consumers are this way. They love something, they want it, but they can't afford it. So they will just drag you and string you along, and they are stressed, but they cannot afford it. So it is. I know a friend of mine that consults in the real estate space, and he was saying, let them commit with something. Anybody that wants to start a conversation with them, like, let there be like a commitment fee or something that says, oh, we are
yes,
buying this land. Okay, good. So why don't you pay this, and then we will continue, and it's not non-refundable, because there are ways that you must safeguard your unique business, right? Think of the uniqueness of your business. How do I safeguard it so that I make sure that I do not lose in the end. Because if you keep taking them to the land, it's your fuel, you keep discussing with your time and all that, you spend so much energy, and that's what your problem is now. And it's not fruitful in the end. What do I put in? The question you ask yourself is, what do I put in place now to safeguard me from losses? Right? I don't really intend,
yeah,
can they really afford it? Right? And then the other thing that came to mind was, there's this business thing that people just invest money to developers over time, right? And then they
of
are able
course.
to keep their money. Yes. And I know a
Yes,
friend of
yes,
mine who is in real estate has positioned himself more as that thing than anything else, because he has found out that a lot of people start this wanting to buy, but they do not finish. Right.
yes,
So yes, so the second stream of income in real estate for him is this investment, because people are more willing to invest this way. Right. So to just
yeah,
balance what you are doing, please maybe consider having this other place so that that money is coming through that place as well, even as
as
you
well,
pursue
yeah,
nice, right? Because you can't force them to buy, right?
yeah,
But again, ask them questions. Always get feedback. Why didn't you close this deal? What really the problem? How could I have served you better? What do you think I could have done to help you make this? You know, do your feedback. Always get that feedback, because feedback will now help you remodel what you're doing, help you understand it better, so that you can serve them better. All right. I hope this was helpful.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome, and thank you for joining my programs. I'm very grateful. Okay. All right. So that's
I,
it.
I,
Thank.
al- I was
Okay.
also going to say something, ma.
Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
thank you so much, ma. It's been very helpful session, and I really love the part where you spoke about mentors, because I think that's like a part that I've personally struggled with.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I think I struggle with, and I would really appreciate if you have any idea for me on how to deal with it. I think I struggle with the fact that a lot of I don't know if it's somewhere in my mind, but I feel like there's a whole lot of expectations. I have an issue with expectations, and the reason is because I have an issue with expectations, and the reason is because I feel like I might not be able to meet it the way you want it met, or I might probably over meet it, and then there will be. So it just keeps me in a very safe zone. That
Mm.
makes it really difficult for me to want to say, okay, but I need it. It's something I really do need. It's something I've been trying to work on. It's something I've been trying to map out. Okay, so
Yeah.
how do you approach them? How do you get close to them? So all those things. So I'm glad that you touched on it a bit, but I just really hope that there's a way you can maybe touch on some of these other things I just raised.
All right. So let me just say some things very practically. This is coaching, so I'll just say it as it is. No sugarcoating. Number one, understand your personality. Your personality as an individual can determine how your mentorship will go. So for instance, I only sound like an extrovert and act like an extrovert when I'm working in my office. And when I say office, is when I'm in coaching, when I'm speaking, when I'm consulting, blah, blah, blah. It seems like I'm extrovert, like I'm a very friendly person. No. When I'm not in my office, I am an introvert. Very, very good one. Very good, quiet introvert. One or two of my friends here that are close to me will understand it. I will not talk much. I'll just be looking at you and you'll be looking at me. So that makes it quite difficult to mentor me, because it means that I may not be asking questions, I may not be talking a lot, I may not be, I may not be out there, I may not be like pushy. The best mentors are people that are pushy, are forward in your face because you can't avoid them. Those are truly the best mentors. All mentees, all mentors like those kind of people, because you know that they are taking out of you, and that's what mentoring is about. So mentors are happy when they're helping out. But if you're an introverted person that you don't want to be pushy and all that, you are not able to draw out of your mentor what you want, and that becomes a strained relationship. And I've had some strained relationships like that. So what are a few things you can do? First of all, understand who you are, your personality. And when you're going to meet this person, don't go and ask them to mentor you. Just go and be in their space first. Try and understand these people, because sometimes the people we want to mentor us might not be our right fit. They should remain role models, far away people that we can just look up to and learn from without having personal interactions with them. They might not be a right fit for you. In fact, you might ruin the relationship when you ask them to become mentors. So you have to be careful, right? That's one. Number two, after you've spent time in their presence, you spend time in their spaces, attend their programs, attend their events, just hang out with them, try and be friendly with them and all that, and you've made your decision that, yes, this person can mentor me, then you now ask, oh, I would like to support you, I'd like to help you. Like somebody that I want to mentor me, for the last 1 year, I haven't asked her to mentor me. I've just been in her space, in her face. Once in a while, I'll buy her a gift. Anywhere she's going, I say, can I follow you? I'll just carry your handbag, or I'll just make her laugh. I just made her like me. Now she likes me very much. So I can now ask her, can you please mentor me in this area? So that's number two. Number three, be specific about the area you want them to mentor you in, so that they don't put on you other things that you did not ask for, right? I have many people that come to me as mentees, but not many people last. Because first of all, we do not gel. It can't happen between us. We are not the kind of people to work it out. Number two, the reason why they don't stay is because they do not learn of my personality. They do not learn of me. So their expectations of me do not match who I really am. So just imagine like one or two people here that like my mentees now, they come to my house and they're expecting me to gist with them all day. It's not who I am. I may be quiet up to 20 minutes at a time, and they will be there looking and doing whatever they want. They know what they want. That's why they stay. Some other people, after the first 2 times, they won't come back because they're like, what's happening? Why are you not talking now? Those kind of things. So when you understand the personality and the person that, then it's easy for you to hang around them, and it's easy for you to be in their space. But mentoring is a close relationship. So you have to be sure that this person is somebody I can be close to. And then the last thing I'll say is that pray about it as well. And let God direct you and open the hearts of your mentors to you, so that they too will want to mentor you. Because somebody believes, and I respect him with all my heart, Nia Desanya, he says that a mentor should choose you. By the time you keep hanging around them and showing up, they should choose you. They should say, come, what are you doing? How are you doing it? Let's talk. How can I help you? That's a real mentor. Because a mentor is to pour into your life. A mentor is to open doors for you. A mentor is to show you good ways. A mentor is to be good to you. Anybody that is not doing all those things for you shouldn't be a mentor. Those people are tormentors. They're just going to use you and dump you. A mentor should care about you, right? So don't be in a hurry to have mentors. Just go through this process, especially because I know you and I know your personality. Very close to mine in a way, right? So be around them, learn from them, hang around them, everything. Be sure that you can manage to stay in their space a lot, right? And then start interacting with them just like that, so that they know about you. They want to mentor you, so that when you broach the topic, or if they broach the topic, it's easy because there's a connection that happens. So don't rush to get mentors, right? And a lot of people that we want to call mentors should remain role models. They should be far away. Don't interact, because by the time you get close to them and see their personal lives, you will be so shocked and disappointed and disillusioned that you can never have them as mentors, right? So, yeah, that's the truth, right?
Yes, ma. Sorry, ma. Can I still say one more thing?
So
please.
and thank you so much. Like this has been a major concern to me, and I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to listen to how to deal with it. And I guess I would probably ask more questions after now. I can reach out to ask more questions. But there's also one other thing I wanted to ask. So I know a lot of times with regards to my work, I've always heard, oh, find mentors who are in the field, mentors who are in the field. But I also discovered that a lot of times those who have gone ahead in the field are still chasing what you're chasing. What I mean by that is maybe in terms of the connections, and they are already there. Actually, they are already there. Like you have people who have been here, who have been in this space for 30 years. There are times where you're trying to enter a particular room, and they'll tell you, "Oh, this room is just dedicated to this kind of person,"
Yeah.
and you know that they have what it takes to be able to show you where the next step should be. But the truth in some way is that they are still more like chasing what you're chasing. So in that kind of way, because I also feel that mentoring, like just like what you said, identify the aspects of their lives that you really want them to mentor you about. And for me as a person, to get to the point, so how will I put it now? I when I have the opportunity to come close, I don't come close until I know that I can really be myself around you and tell you the way I feel, and without having to hold back. But I also feel like if I have to get close to this person, I can't really express myself. I can't really tell you some of the ideas I have in my head. I can't really tell you some of the things I really want to do, because in my mind, if I have to say this, I can just discover that that's what people are doing the next day. So but they are the ones that have gone really ahead. They are the ones that they've entered most of the rooms we all want to enter a lot of times. They are at the forefront of even the even federal recognitions and all this. So how do you deal with such?
Okay, so the sector that you are in has a peculiar problem, because that's the sector I'm in as well. That sector requires identification and recognition, but it is not stagnant. It's not that when you get there, you are there. No, you have to keep at it, because you are always looking for funding, you are looking for grants, you are looking for the next best thing. So no matter how big a person is in that sector, in the social sector, there is always a next goal to meet. That's the way the sector is built. So no matter who you look to as a mentor in that sector, it's also looking to get another grant. It's also looking to build a better program. It's also growing. It's a growing sector. We never stop growing. It's an excellent sector, if you get what I mean. Excellence means that there's always a moving post to be more excellent. So there's nobody you are going to meet that has it all. No. Everybody is trying to be better, right? There are people that I've talked to in MacArthur, in Ford Foundation. We are all the same thing. We are all looking for the next grant, the next funding, the next project, the next opportunity, because the world is changing and we have to create resources and plans to meet it. So mentoring is not about the sector, please. Mentoring is personal. It's about personal development or development of one thing. So find that one thing you want the mentoring in and focus on it. When you want to discuss like your programs and projects, don't find people in your sector or in your specific industry. No, find people that are good in developing programs and projects. They are two different things. And this thinking has helped me in this space. They don't have to be in your sector. They just are really great at crafting out these programs that are recognized and these programs that are easily bought into. There are people like that. That is a mentoring skill. Find that as a mentoring area and go there with your project. The other people that are in your industry and all that, those ones are for collaborations, they are for partnership, they are for support, right? So if you are close to them and you are following them around and providing support for them, because you are meant to be your helper's helper, please, everybody write that down. In this 2025, you are meant to be your helper's helper. If you are not able to help your helper, they don't need you. That's what mentoring is. If you are not able to help your mentor, they don't need you. They will not mentor you unless you are helping them. Because in your helping them, you will gain experience, you will gain exposure, you will gain lessons. That's what you get from your mentor. That experience, that lesson, that person they have become, how you also become that person. All right. So that's what you look for from people within your sector. And then of course, if you are there and you stay with them, when they have extra funding or extra jobs or they need a partner, then they will call you because they now trust you because you've stayed with them, you've been around them, you've been their helper. So that's the way to look for mentorship, right? They will only help you if you help them. That's just the way it is. But for specific things that you identify you need growth in, find people that are good in that area, not because they're in your sector. No, just because they are good. When I was trying to build Joel's networking to more than it is now, I found people that are good with working with women. Not me, I'm focused on single mothers, right? And they are teenage girls. But people that are just good in working with women generally, people, whether it's ministry anyway, I stay around you, I hear what you are doing, how you are doing it, even up to farmers, not even in the social sector, right? That's how to do it. But then I stayed with people that have grown in the area, so I'm just around them. How do they speak to these women? How do they interact? That's learning. I hope this is helpful, right? Nobody can give you all the things you want. We are all looking at a moving target, right?
Thank you so much, ma.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you. Just know that consistency pays. Just keep doing what you are doing. I know it. I'm very lazy at putting myself out there. It's not my skill. There are people here that literally want to kill me because it's not my skill. But I have to. So look at it that I have to do some things for the grace I carry. I have to do some things for visibility, right? Being consistent in doing what you're doing, whether it's in the secret place or it's in the open space, helps, because people say, oh, she's still doing this. Oh, he's still there. Oh, she has this knowledge. Oh, he's doing that. Show people, make sure that you show people what you're doing, what you're capable of by being consistent. Attend the events that show that you're involved in particular sectors. Be present in the lives of people that matter in those sectors. Speak out where it's necessary. Tell people what you do. I'm not saying tell people your secrets, because that's what people think. No, not your secrets. Tell people what you have done, so they know that you have capacity and you're able to still deliver these things. That is what it is. But in this 2025, if you are here with me, if you are following me, you will be famous. Your face will be seen, your voice will be heard. That's the grace I carry. If you stick around me, that's what you will have, right? Because everybody is called to something. There are other people you will be called to do things. There's a lady in this country, in fact, there are a few of them. I really, truly admire them. I absolutely love them and all of that. Some know me, some don't, but they are not mentoring me because they are not meant to mentor me. I'm just meant to be in their space. I'm meant to learn from them from afar as role models, but not to become their mentees. The people that are mentoring me are there. Some of them are not even women, even though I'm called to women. Why? Because there's a grace they carry that I want to catch that will be relevant to my own mandate, to my own business, to my own calling. Is a grace, right? So you will collect what you need to collect from whoever and bring it into your space and make it work for you. So you don't need to find somebody to replicate your life after. No. Just see it. What is it? You know, there was a time, I think it was in church or so, or in a meeting, somebody said, think of two people that have the grace that you want. Package a seed and sow to them. They don't even need to know you or have you. Just know them in the world. It's a grace that we all carry. And I'll say this to round up. If you read the Bible, and I believe everybody here is a Christian, and then even if you're not, just excuse me to say it, because it's a very, really relevant thing I think I need to end with. There are people in the Bible that resemble the journey that you are going on, that you're on right now. Find them and read about them, study about them, find their history, because it will open your eyes to learn more and to see more. There was a time when I was going to start new things, and God just kept talking to me about Joseph, being a catalyst. And that's where I was staying, and I was learning. And after that, I moved to Abraham, because Abraham was a builder, and Abraham was charting new courses, and Abraham was being led by God in a time when nobody had experienced that before. And I just stayed with that, and I learned, and I read, and I stayed, and and then there was another time I moved, because it was time to learn about Mary, giving birth to a world changer. So, so there are different things you need to learn in every season of your life to get you to the point where you need to be. I've learned about Deborah, about Esther, about Mary, about just so many people, right? Just about Timothy being a follower that is also a bishop. Do you understand what that means? It means that you are already at the height of your career, but there are people you defer to. And when I look at the world, I see people like Oyedipo deferring to people like Adeboye. I see people like Oyakilome deferring to Benihina. There's always somebody you can defer to. There's always someone you can learn more from. There's always something in the Bible, in life. And this is ministry. But if you think about it in the business world, there are people. I read a lot about Richard Branson because I believe he has a touch of gold. Anything he touches prospers, and I think he's a multipotentialite. There's so many people like that, right? Just Google them. You will learn about them in different countries, and just make sure that you always have a heart of a learner, and you're learning and you're growing in every area of your life. That's what's important. Because the more you grow this capacity, the more you are prepared for more, God will bring more. So this 10 times more we are all talking about is that God is bringing it to you because you are prepared for it, because you have increased capacity for it, because you are ready for it, then it can come. If you are not prepared for it, it can't come, right? And if you are like me, you can be guarded, you can be introverted, right? You don't know how to build personal relationships because you're very formal and all of that. You have to learn. We all have to learn to be a little less formal, less guarded around other people, because people can feel your aura, right? And when they feel your aura, it tells them whether they can come near to you or be friends with you or not. And that aura thing is so important. You need to build an amiable aura that people want to interact with you. You need to be nice. You need to be kind. You need to be prideless, if there's anything like that, right? Because that aura is what God will use to attract the right people into your life, right? The right friends you should have. Because of who you are, you can't make those friends. No, you have to let your guard down a little bit, right? I know you might get hurt in the process. I know you become vulnerable in the process, but that's how God works. The Bible says a broken and a contrite heart will I not cast away. Why? Because it's a broken and contrite heart he uses. What does that mean? It's someone that is open to get hurt. It's someone that is open to love without reciprocation, right? And that's how we build the right relationship. That's how we become the right people that other people want to network with, want to collaborate with, because you are open. And be sensitive enough to see the red flags so that you can run away, right? Be sensitive enough, even if it's a mentee or a coach. I know a few people that have either been like mentees to me or coach or something, I've cut the relationship with them. When we see we are nice and all that, but I stay away from their space now because the vibe has become wrong, or they said something I don't agree with, or it's just time to end that relationship. So there are times and seasons, there are moments and, phases in life. Recognize it. People are not meant to be, some people will not be in your life forever. There are people that are here that have been in my life since I met them maybe like 10, 15, 20 years ago. And we are still going on strong. There are people that were in my life for a year, 2 years, were hot friends relationship, and it's now over. So just be flexible, be open, be vulnerable, so that it can be like a current of experiences and flow in your life. You're not holding on to anything too tightly. You're not letting things go anyhow. You're just conscious of what God is doing in your life per time, per season, right? So that you can take full advantage of it and not lose out in any way, right? So with these few points of mine and words of mine, I hope you are totally convinced that 2025 is going to be a better year for you than this 2024 was and could ever be. I am so convinced, right, that I'm seeing better and bigger things. The number of grace, a friend of mine was sharing with me, the number of grace is 5, right? And God is expecting us to do double what we are doing, and that is 25. So 2025 is that God is giving you grace to do more. That's what she was trying to explain to me, and I want you to take that to heart. Lord, what am I going to do more in this coming year? Right? How am I going to do it? Have that clear in your spirit that there's more, you must do more. In January, what did you do last year? You must do so much more. February, I must do so much more by comparison. I must earn so much more. I must be so much more, right? And if you've been called to ministry, I just feel very strongly right now to say this. If you've been called to ministry, stop waiting for a platform to be created for you. Create a platform, or go and serve in a platform where you will become useful to them, so that you start expressing your innate abilities and expressing your graces to the point where you are now able to start your own. You're now able to create a platform to bless people. There are some people here that are just called to pray for people. You're meant to call business people together and just pray with them once in a while. Start. It doesn't matter how many people are there, because some of us are looking for quantity. In 2025, it will be more about quality than quantity, right? This year was, for many people, was quantity. Next year is quality. What is the quality of your output? What is that quality? Because it's that quality that will stand you before kings and not mere men, right? So work on your quality, how you speak, how you write, how you present yourself, how you dress, even your products and your services, how you package them and make them quality for the world to be able to accept it and receive it, right? So I pray for you that 2025 will be an explosive year for you. Not only will you do great things, but great people will be attracted to you to provide you service, to give you a helping hand, to do much more, gatekeepers will support you and be on your side. Bridging people will create those bridges to the right places that you need to go. They don't need to know you because God is the one working on their heart to bring you to that space. Right. So I just want to say thank you all for joining. And before you leave, like I said, my private coaching for next year is going to run in 3 months circles, February, March. So we'll do February, March, April, take a 1 month break, do another 3 months, take a 1 month break, and do 3 months. Right. That's how we're going to run. And it's going to be paid for quarterly. So it's like a quarter program, right? It's going to be paid for. We are going to be talking about a lot of things I'm talking about here, focused on business growth, personal growth, and spiritual growth as well, because I do not separate them. I do all of them, all three together. We'll be having live video sessions where we can record what we've been taught and then replay. That's why we're using Telegram, so that all the recordings can be there. I'll be sharing a lot of materials with you. I will hold brunches every quarter so that we can have a live session, and those people that are in Lagos with me, or if I'm in Abuja, can come together. We can have a meal together and share. There is a process with me. We start from the foundations and we grow every quarter until the end. And you don't have to be in every quarter. If after quarter one you've learned what you want, you can go, because it will really be a repetition per quarter, but we will also always build on it, right? So I know people that have always been in my coaching from 2020. They are still attending the coaching. Anytime I open coaching, they are still there, because it's important for me to see that I grow, so that the people with me grow. And I've told the people already there that this new year coming, there must be results, there must be outcome. We're not just going to talk and have fun. We must have something out. We must do something. All right. So it will be 100,000 every quarter, and it can be paid in 2 tranches or 3 tranches. It depends. Yeah. And we will just do as God bids us. It's going to be an amazing time. I tell you, it's going to be an amazing time. So for those of you who just joined, I'm really sorry you missed everything, but I have recorded it, and so the recording will be done. Will be posted in this group just immediately after we are done here, for every other person, 100 and something people who are in this group to join. Thank you again. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have the best 2025 that anybody can even imagine. Even though I know that we will not, our minds cannot hold it, but we will go in grace and with speed, and by God's mandate and calling. God bless you, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you so much, Ma.
You're welcome. Thank you.